This just in. Every time I speak at a business event, the professional networking session inevitably devolves into a panicked support group for people who suspect a piece of software is about to destroy their livelihood. Everyone wants to know the exact date artificial intelligence is going to make them completely obsolete. We all saw the recent Anthropic study showing the theoretical macro impact of AI on massive global industries. But that data feels entirely too abstract. You do not care about the global economy. You care about whether your specific consulting retainer is going to dry up next Tuesday. According to a brilliant new newsletter by Chris Penn at Trust Insights, you do not have to sit around guessing your exposure to the automated wave. You can actually force the machine to do the math for you. Before you spend another 10 hours a week doing highly repetitive administrative work, we need to look at the exact framework that predicts your obsolescence and how to rapidly evolve your business before a deeply polite chatbot replaces your entire team. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Vicky Sidler, a StoryBrand certified guide and duct tape marketing strategist from the Strategic Marketing Tribe. And I help small business owners like you build failure-proof marketing by focusing on the exact 20% of efforts that drives 80% of the results. Also, your marketing stops feeling like a miserable second job you never asked for. I believe your absolute greatest competitive advantage is simply sounding undeniably human. Because let's be honest, if your marketing sounds like it was written by a generic robot, your clients will assume your services can be replaced by one. Download my 5-minute marketing fix to spot exactly where your messaging sounds like a cheap commodity so you can replace it with the premium human expertise your buyers actually value. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, how do you audit your own obsolescence? You cannot build a defense strategy if you refuse to look at exactly where the walls of your business are currently crumbling. To figure out how exposed you are, Chris Penn suggests auditing your daily routine using the Trust Insights TRIPS framework. This framework evaluates your vulnerability based on 5 highly specific factors. First is time. The more time a task takes, the better a candidate it is for automation. Next is repetitiveness. If you are doing the exact same sequence of clicks every single day, the software is already drooling over your job. Then comes importance. If a task is economically highly valuable, corporations have a massive financial incentive to automate it to increase their profit margins. The fourth factor is pain. If a task is completely miserable to perform, adoption of a tool to replace it will skyrocket. Finally, number 5, sufficient data. If there are thousands of successful examples of a task online, the machine already knows exactly how to do it. So how do you actually apply this brutal scorecard to your life? Once you force an algorithm to ruthlessly evaluate your daily routine, the final score is probably going to make you want to pour a very stiff drink. Penn recommends grabbing a few job descriptions for your current role, pasting them into your favorite AI tool, and asking the software to break the job down into 100 granular tasks. You then ask the AI to score every single task using the TRIPS framework to determine the mathematical likelihood that a generative model can do it better, faster, and cheaper than you can. The terrifying reality is that AI does not cost jobs by terminating an entire profession overnight. It costs jobs by aggressively eating away at the underlying tasks. If you have a team of 50 content writers and a machine suddenly consumes 80% of their daily tasks, you no longer need 50 writers. You just need 10 highly stressed managers to supervise the software. If you run a service business, you are staring down the exact same barrel. So what do you actually do when the math proves you are exposed? How do you survive a market that doesn't need you? The classic corporate advice is to skate where the puck is going, which is completely useless advice when the puck is a supercomputer evolving at an exponential rate. If the AI audit reveals that 50% or more of your daily tasks are about to be consumed by software, you only have two options. You can either become the absolute master of the machine, automating your own job so effectively that you become the indispensable expert who runs the systems, or you can aggressively pivot your entire career towards the things that the machine currently cannot do. If you choose the latter, you have to understand the value chain. Knowledge work is currently being completely decimated. Software can write code, generate marketing copy, and paint portraits almost for free. If you are selling a basic knowledge output, you're selling a commodity. And if your customer does not have a strong preference for your specific brand, an AI-generated piece of trash is just as good to them as your expensive human efforts. To survive, you must evolve. Here's why you must abandon the commodity business immediately. If anyone can get your exact deliverables for $3 a month from a chatbot, you have to completely change what you are actually selling them. You must move up the value chain from commodity to branded product to service to experience to transformation. Music is a commodity until a musician builds a massive brand. Then they wrap that brand into a live service, which becomes a highly emotional experience, which ultimately leads to a personal transformation that fans will happily pay hilarious amounts of money for. As a service provider, you have to look at the tasks the AI is about to steal and intentionally up-level them. You can use the AI to do the cheap commodity work, but you must charge for the uniquely human strategy, the personalized coaching, and the ultimate transformation you provide to the client. If your marketing is currently promising generic deliverables instead of a meaningful transformation, you are begging to be replaced by the free software updates. You need to immediately differentiate your human value from automated slop. Get my 5-minute marketing fix. It acts as a rapid diagnostic weapon to help you strip the generic commodity language out of your funnels, forcing you to articulate the premium, reality-tested human expertise that a robot could never replicate. Stop losing sales. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below or at strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? What is the most mind-numbing, highly repetitive administrative task you are absolutely praying a piece of software will steal from you so you never have to do it again? I'll go first. If an AI could reliably shorten the editing cycle of my videos for my team, I would personally buy the robots a drink. Okay, your turn. What task are you begging the machine to steal? Let me know in the comments. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.